with that, everybody, we're not switching the road to the show just quite yet. It's playoff time, and we will stick with this Red Sox franchise tonight for as long as is necessary. One of the most ridiculous seasons we've had yet. A major trade. The biggest draft bust ever. And a playoff appearance for the first time since we took over. We take on Tampa, who have had some success. I don't think we can properly compete with them yet, given the strength of their starting pitching, at least on paper. Their bullpen leaves a little bit to be desired, with the exception of Anton Vasquez. Yana, how are you? At catcher, Tyler Soderstrom. Certainly not bad. First base, Harold Ramirez. Terrible defender, but he can hit. Second base, Brandon Lowe. Oh my God. And Vidal Brujan is also there. And Jonathan Aranda, who's in AAA though. Third base, Ryan McMahon. One of their big free agent signings. Shortstop, Wander Franco. And Marco Luciano. And Carson Williams. And Antonio Vizcaino. God. Outfield, just some guy named Juan Soto. Center field, Josh Lowe. And in right, Mason Au. Game number 1. Our first ever playoff matchup. As we will go quick manage as we do. At Fenway Park. Brian Bayo will get the start. He was our best pitcher in the regular season. He deserves a chance. From there, this lineup. Rafaela can play other positions. We do not want Sogard playing third. Cavadas does not have a secondary position. Tristan Casas does. So we will be having Tristan Casas at third and Cavadas at first. York at second is fine. It does put Jarren Duran in. And he was a hotter hand than Blay or Rafaela in the regular season. We're going to have Mitchell in for his defense. In terms of speed, I don't know if we have great options. Miguel Dew does have the contact, so does Duran. We'll have Miguel Dew lead off. Jarren Duran's going to be hitting second. Casas was at an 855. DeLauder was at an 836. I am going to base this primarily on OPS. It was a 716 there, a 769 for Meyer. Mitchell. Lowe was at an 823. Or not Lowe, excuse me, Nick York. We're going to reward the people who perform the best. I think you need one more lefty, probably. Honestly, I'm not too worried about the lefty-righty dynamic. I'm really not. 716. Again, it was 699. And then Cavadas was at an 870. Which is pretty nuts. And again, I'm more worried about putting people who performed in a position to succeed. We could always put Lugo in at third base, given that he's a righty, or Sogard is a switch hitter, but I really don't care. We're going to go with whoever the hell the best was, and these were our best options. It is game number 1. And unfortunately, well, double play there. Not too bad. We start off pretty strong. Can we get anything going? A walk for Cavadas. Casas walks as well. DeLauder strikes out. Solo shot for Ryan McMahon. And a 1-0 lead for Tampa. Double play ball after York's leadoff single. We're still with just one hit so far. Nice 1-2-3 inning for Bayo there. And so far, we have not been able to get anything going offensively. Oh, thank God they had 2 on. We get out of it. Can we find a way to get to Bradley? A walk for Casas. DeLauder strikes out. York, fielder's choice. 1 hit through 4 innings. Leadoff single for Meyer. Sack bunt gets him over. Mitchell can't bring him home. Blake, thank you for the 20 months on the prime. Jarren Duran, IRL, was sent down by the Red Sox. Did not make his opening night lineup. Their opening night lineup this year, but can he deliver for us here? No, he can't. He strikes out. GG's. Oh, no. Strikeout. Try to pick off Franco again. RBI double for Lowe. Follow-up walk. Gets out of it, but it's 2-0 Tampa in the bottom of the 6th. 2-out single for DeLauder. York can't bring him home. Brian, I'm going to run you through this inning if I can. Good job. A walk for Wells. Mitchell double play. As we'll be taking Brian out. We know that Schreiber was one of our better relievers. Immediately walks Vizcaino. Soto singles. Low fielder's choice. McMahon strikes out. We got out of it. Bottom of the 8th, Miguel Dew singles. We got to go for the steal. They bring in a pitching change, and we get caught stealing. Duran grounds out. Cavadas grounds out. We go to the 9th. Leadoff single for Soderstrom. 2 on, 2 outs. Bases loaded for Franco, who grounds out. Bottom of the 9th, we have 4 hits to this stage of the game. Tristan Casas leads off. And let's see what the hell happens. That's all I can say. Let's see what the hell happens. Because who knows if we're going to go down in game number 1. We're going to watch it happen. Tristan Casas kicks us off. And a bad called strike 1 by the umpire doesn't help us all that much.
Next offering is
takes a fastball at the knees. Strike 2. Oh, Tristan. The 0-2 count. Swing and a miss. Casas down on 3 pitches. Chase DeLauter.
Tell you what, if you're in the dugout, you're looking at each other and saying, he's going to be tough to get to today.
Future right fielder, maybe even future center fielder. High sinker, strike 1. Can't say I'm feeling overly optimistic at the moment. Chase, what do you got for us, buddy?
Strike 2.
Looking like me and road to the show, it's strike 2.
But standing in center field, you can't help but chuckle a little bit.
The 0-2.
Next offering.
Check swing.
I think he's trying to
Really looking Torf-like.
He's thinking he can hit that pitch.
1-2 count. Vasquez deals. Contact, but it's chopped over to third. And we're down to our last out in game number 1 of this best of 3.
And next for the Red Sox,
It's Nick York.
for 3.
Down to our last out in game number 1.
First pitch just misses.
Away at the sinker. I mean, at least it wasn't a high pitch that they just look at again. Come on, Nick. We had faith in you. Check swing. 1 around.
Yes, he did. That's a swing.
Two-run game with 2 away here in the bottom.
Well, the 1-1.
The next offering.
This is on a high fastball. York's hanging in there better than the 2 that came before him.
That's through there for a strike.
Looks at a high inside sinker. We're down to our last strike in game 1. Nick York
Good eye right there.
holds off. Full count. Meyer on deck. Will we get to him? The pitch from Vasquez.
Foul. We'll see.
York fouls it down the left field line. One more time.
Good plate appearance there.
Draws the walk, holds off on the low inside slider. And the tying run comes to the plate. It's Marcelo Meyer.
Marcelo Meyer for the 4th time tonight.
This is the first round, the wild card round, Achilles. As the in-game scoreboard says on the bottom right, just to make you feel kind of silly. What can Marcelo do? Pitch from Vasquez. First pitch, swinging, fly ball to left. And the Rays take game 1.
Take game 1 of the series on the road. So the Tampa Bay Rays take game 1 of this wild card series. A huge win for them at hostile.
Had it gone off the wall, would have at least been 1 run on the board. Potentially, York has some speed, but Tampa takes game 1. That's rough. That's rough. That's rough. We were held to just 4 hits that entire game. Bayo again did well. He did really well. We got really good pitching. It's just our offense did not show up whatsoever. As we'll go to game number 2. 10 strikeouts for Brian, and it just didn't matter. That's a tough hand to be dealt. Achilles, it's all good. I can understand being on a phone, not being able to see it. It's all good. We go to game number 2. They have Shane Baz on the mound. And we go with our supposed ace, Garrett Whitlock. Hoping we get to Rodriguez in game 3. Lineup-wise this time, given that nobody really did all that well, we will look for a more appropriate lefty-righty balance, regardless of what that means. It definitely means that I think we'll go with Belay. Mitchell didn't do anything. Obviously, he's more of a defense-first option. Duran didn't do anything in his opportunity. I'd be more likely to take him out. So what if we were to take Duran out? We need a righty. Lugo was abysmal at the plate. Hernandez is our backup catcher. Blay had a 697. Rafaela, 680. Let's go with Miguel. Wells didn't do a whole hell of a lot in that last game. We're going to give Ronaldo the chance. And then our top 4 are all lefties that we can't really afford to take out. It's a bold strategy. We're going to have Garrett Mitchell lead off, just to have speed on the base paths. Miguel Dew is our best steel threat as well. Shout out to CCM completing a program. I'm so glad. That means I can't see what the hell is going on. From there, actually, in fairness, we might want a righty that has a little bit more speed. Let's get Belay in there. We'll have Miguel do a different spot in the lineup. I'll actually go this way. It's kind of tough because our 3 best players are all lefties. It's a bit of a weird spot to be in. But we'll go with the Louder, York, Marcelo Meyer, and then honestly Sogard, then Casas, and we'll just try to mix it up. I mean, at some point, we're going to have back-to-back lefties, but that's okay. We're throwing random things at the wall. Again, I thought that we could be here in the playoffs. I wasn't expecting it. Had I been expecting it, we wouldn't have traded a certain reliever. Well, let's see what Garrett Whitlock can do. A nice 1-2-3 inning. A one-out double for Miguel Blay. DeLauder fails to bring him home. York fails to bring him home. Whitlock, bases loaded, no outs. Fielder's choice. Pop up. Strike it. Wow, he got out of it. Hell of a job by Whitlock to get out of it. Leadoff single for Meyer. Sogard bunts him over. Casas grounds out. Hernandez strikes out. Leadoff single for Vizcaino. Franco down. Soto bunts him over. Low. Okay, it's a pitching duel right now. Mitchell, Dew, Blay, nothing. Solo shot, Ryan McMahon. Is this game 1 or game 2? Look at the time. Ramirez with a 2-out single. They're up 1-0. Our half of the inning. Single for Meyer. Sogard can't bring him home. Whitlock gives up a single to Franco. Gets out of it. He's still pitching relatively well. It's just our offense is getting obliterated. Absolutely obliterated. 2-out double for Josh Lowe. Ramirez singles. Stolen base. The one time I don't pick off. Strikes out. Dusty, what's up? Bottom of the 6th. We're looking for just our 4th hit of the game. Dew walks. Gets caught stealing. Blay grounds out. DeLauder grounds out. Whitlock is done. And we'd be doing this team a disservice, I think, if we didn't bring in our best pitcher. In K at this point. We got to bring in our best option, and it's going to be our normal closer, Anthony K, just to try and shut it down to see if our offense can make something happen. Soto sack bunts. Lowe brings him home with a 2-run shot. And barring a miracle comeback, Tampa Bay is going to win this series in 2. Meyer on base. Sogard strikes out. Casas singles. Hernandez brings in a run on an RBI single. We're on the board finally. Mitchell against Gilbreth. Fielder's choice. Soderstrom singles. Gets out of it. Bottom of the 8th. We're down by 2. Miguel grounds out. Blay strikes out. DeLauder against Clevenger. Flies out. Let's get Lawrence some pitching experience in the playoffs. Vizcaino walks. Franco flies out. Soto strikes out. Low walks. McMahon pops up. And we go to the bottom of the 9th. Our season is on the line. We should be happy to have just made the playoffs. Vasquez is back in. But is it enough to just be happy to make the playoffs when our 3rd overall pick is the biggest bust of all time?
For themselves, late and close. There's not much margin for error, but at the same time,
it is our first time making the playoffs. Yes, York, strike 1. Precision fastball.
Next off.
Looks at a pitch right down the middle like his name's Torf Suomalainen.
down the middle, and that's a pitch you're just not getting back.
An 0-2 count already for Vasquez.
After falling behind on a good first pitch.
That one not
Holds off on a sinker.
It's 1-2.
Thank God.
Good eye right there.
Holds off on that fastball. Good job by York to work it back to 2-2. Foul Fouls one down the third baseline. 2-2 count. Vasquez shut us down last time. York fouls off another one. He's fighting. Got to give him credit. Again, he's the second baseman. We're trying to build around a little bit. He's putting up a fight in a high-pressure situation and works the count to full. Nick York, Achilles always. You want gameplay? Stick around for Road to the Show. Full count. York again fouls one down the left base, the left field line, third base line. Ninth pitch of the at-bat.
Line drive.
And lines one to first. And down goes York. He tried. He really tried.
And stepping in for Boston,
3 for 3 on the day. Marcelo Meyer.
Playing this kind of rival, take your game to another level.
puts it in the air.
It's one down the middle, out to left. Soto chases it down.
2 down.
And we're down to our last out.
2 outs, bases empty.
Nick Sogard, the replacement third baseman.
He's someone that you might
Due to the injury to Nolan Jones and the fact that I screwed up and wasn't paying enough attention and didn't get Chen on the playoff roster.
And there's the strike.
Takes a strike.
Definitely a plus runner, but what I love about him is that he goes all out every single time, never takes a break. It's guys like that, even though
Sogard to second base, and the Tampa Bay Rays eliminate the Boston Red Sox in the wild card round in 2 games.
So the Tampa Bay Rays sweep this wild card series with back-to-back wins.
In the middle of June,
They can now shift their focus.
we thought, well, maybe the playoffs are possible.
it's very
And we just drafted the next great center fielder in Major League Baseball.
clearly that was no issue for these guys.
We did make the playoffs,
Bodes well for
only to get pumped by Tampa.
And a lot of disappointment for these
And we took the biggest draft bust of all time.
as they turn their attention to the offseason.
Held to 6 hits. The only RBI in the series for us belongs to
Look to build on their
backup
success
catcher
next year.
Ronaldo Hernandez. And our season has come to a close at the hands of the Tampa Bay Rays. It's that's a tough pill to swallow there. It would have been one thing if we were a bit more competitive. We weren't competitive. Again, Brian Bello, Garrett Whitlock, they did their job. They really did. Unfortunately, Anthony Kay kind of let us down despite winning reliever of the year. Lineup-wise, Meyer, 4 hits and 8 at-bats. How many other players had over a 2? Casas, Hernandez, and Belay. 3 players with over a 200 batting average in those 2 games. You're just not going to win in that situation. So our season is done. As the divisional rounds, it is Houston against Detroit, Tampa against Texas, San Diego against the Dodgers, and Atlanta against Chicago. And San Diego sweeps LA to move on to the NLCS. Houston will play Tampa, who dispatched of Texas, and San Diego plays Chicago, the Cubs, that is. It's the Final 4. Who will make the World Series? 1 Game 7, AL in a Game 6. Houston and Chicago will play for the World Series. The Astros back in the World Series yet again. They've all... They've already won in this franchise mode. And I might have just done Garrett Crochet the biggest favor in his professional career by sending him straight into a World Series victory. I might have accidentally helped the Astros win the World Series. The pitching was great, but still, they're bolstered by an insane team still. I mean, come on. God, they have Devin Williams, too. Emmanuel Clace. That might be the best fucking bullpen of all time. They are going to have to do it without Altuve. But an insane team in Houston. On the other side, the Chicago Cubs, who are not as strong on paper. They did sign Adley Rutschman, of course. Big old contract for him. Cole Roederer's there. Justin Steele. Advantage Houston. Advantage Houston. And they're up 2-0. They're up 3-0. The Houston Astros win the 2028 World Series. Did Garrett Crochet win MVP? MJ Melendez did. Cubs needed Torf. They did. Congratulations, Garrett. That is the second time, yeah, because the last time it was Yu Chang. Oh, no, that's the third time. That's the third time we've traded someone and they've won the World Series. Because we had Alex Verdugo win with Detroit. We have had Garrett Crochet win with Houston. And we had Yu Chang win with Miami. He's not there anymore, but still. That is the third time I've traded someone away and they've gone on to win a World Series. This night has just been, it's been so tough.